Hey runners, this video is for you. It's about a 10 to 15 minute video where we'll work to open up the parts of the body that tend to get tight or less spacious from running. Let's get started. Come on to your hands and knees. Find a tabletop position. Take your hands slightly wider than your shoulders and your knees about hip width apart for cat and cow. On your inhales, lift your chin, look up, send your hips towards the ceiling. On your exhales, round your back, push the floor away, look in towards your belly. Continue to move like that through cow and cat for a few more rounds at the pace of your own breath. Make your arms all the way straight and strong. Tone your belly the whole time. Do one more round. Find a neutral spine on your next inhale. Bring your knees and ankles together and tuck your toes under. Sit your butt to your heels and bring your head above your hips. And then interlace your fingers, stretch your arms straight ahead, and reach your arms up overhead. Thunderbolt arms extended. This is a foot stretch. If it feels too intense with your heels together, you can take your heels apart, and you can also lean more forward to take some of the weight of your torso off of your feet. Otherwise, squeeze your inner heels all the way together, make your butt heavy on your heels, and pull your bottom ribs down towards your belly button so you don't overarch in the mid-back. Then squeeze your elbows in, and from your hips, extend up through your head and reach your arms up and back. Take another inhale here, and then on your exhale, release your arms and move into downward facing dog. Walk your hands forward, separate them slightly wider than your shoulders, separate your feet about hip width apart, and then lift your hips to the sky. Begin to pedal out your feet here, bend one knee and then the other. Do the down dog jog. Move at the pace of your own breath. And reach the straight-legged heel towards the floor so that you get a stretch along the back of your calf. Do one more round. And then bend both knees in down dog. So we'll work the length in the spine here. Push your hands down into the ground, straighten and strengthen your arms, and lift your armpits up towards the ceiling. And then push from your shoulders straight down into your hands until your hips move up and back. You get a stretch in your shoulders and a stretch in your spine. Then keep that forward tilt of your pelvis, press your thighs back, and reach your heels down. Tone your navel toward your spine. Stretch. Walk your feet towards your hands. Separate your feet about hip width apart, and you can place two fists between your feet for a good measure of that. And then press all 10 fingertips into the floor and bend your knees enough that you can get your belly to touch your thighs. Then lean your weight a little bit more forward towards your toes and fingers to line up the muscles in your legs and drag your heels back to tone your hamstrings. Let gravity help you to extend your spine and bend your elbows out to the sides as there's space to do so. Make sure here that your knees are as wide apart as your ankles so that your legs are lined up. Make your legs strong, bring your hands onto your hips, squeeze your shoulders and elbows towards each other, lift your chin, push down into your feet, and as you inhale, stand up. On your exhale, release your arms down by your sides. Bring your feet together, stand tall, and as you inhale, reach your arms all the way up. On your exhale, release your arms back down by your sides. 4 more like that. Inhale, sweep to the ceiling. Exhale, mountain pose. Inhale to reach all the way up. Exhale, release your arms. 2 more. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, sweep your arms to the sky. Exhale, mountain pose. Next, inhale, reach your arms up overhead. This time, grab your right wrist with your left hand. Push down into your feet, inhale, stretch up, and then exhale, lean towards your left. Side stretch or crescent pose. Make your legs strong, tone your abs, and then lift your chest towards your chin and chin out of your chest. Widen your right hip more to the right so you can lean your spine more to the left. And do pull with your left hand on your right wrist. Push down into your feet, inhale, come back up to center, switch hands. And then push down again, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, lean to your right. Squeeze your legs towards one another, make them straight and strong. Tone your abs, and then lift your chest towards your chin, chin out of your chest. Make your top arm all the way straight. Widen your left hip more to the left as you lean your spine more to the right and pull with your right hand on your left wrist. Come all the way up, inhale. Release your arms by your side, exhale. Interlace your hands behind your back. Squeeze your shoulders and elbows towards each other back behind you and step your feet slightly wider than your hips. Then bend your knees and fold forward. Reach your knuckles towards the ceiling as you stretch your arms towards straight. Key component here to get the shoulder stretch is that the shoulders have to be moving back. If they're moving forward, bend your elbows more until you can get the squeezing action. You can have your hands all the way on your hips, or you can also grab a strap between your hands to get more mobility there. One more inhale here. Release your hands down to the ground. And then step up to the top of your mat if you're not there. From there, step your left foot back, lunge. In your lunge, adjust the length of your stance so that your front shin is vertical and front thigh is parallel to the floor with your back leg straight. Squeeze your feet towards one another, tone your belly, and then stretch your back heel and front knee away from each other and your spine long. Take a couple of breaths here. Be on fingertips so you have a little bit more space to work with, or you can even place blocks underneath your hands. Take another inhale, and on your exhale, step your left foot forward and your right foot back. Make your back leg straight and strong. Squeeze your feet towards one another. Tone your belly. And then stretch your back heel and front knee away from each other and your spine long. Lunge. Take another inhale here. On your exhale, step your right foot forward. And then step your left foot back. Create a nice long lunge. This time, lower your left knee to the floor. Point your back foot. Squeeze your front foot and back knee towards each other. Lift your chest. This is stage 1 of monkey lunge. You could stay here. Or stage 2, bring your hands onto your hips. Squeeze your elbows back, shoulders back. Stay here, or stage 3, reach your arms all the way up overhead. Continue to squeeze your front heel and back knee towards each other. Allow your right knee to move a little more to the right and move your hips forward and down to deepen the stretch in the front of your left thigh. As your hips move forward and down, lift your chest up more. One more inhale here. Touch the floor on your exhale if you're not already. Tuck your back toes and now straighten your front leg for half split. Walk your right heel forward enough that your left thigh is straight up and down. If touching the floor on either side of your front shin with your legs straight feels like too deep, bend your front knee or add blocks underneath of your hands. Dig your right heel into the floor and drag it back. Even move your right hip back so it's even with your left. And then extend your spine and fold over your right leg. You're looking for a stretch in the middle back of your right thigh in the hamstrings. Continue to dig your right heel down and drag it back so that the hamstrings are toned as you stretch them. One more breath here. Next, inhale, lengthen your spine. Shorten your stance so you can lunge into your right leg, and then step forward, right leg back for monkey lunge. Lower your right knee down, point your right foot. Squeeze your front heel and back knee towards each other and lift your chest. Stage 1. Stay here or bring your hands up onto your hips. Squeeze your shoulders towards one another, lift your chest towards the ceiling. Stay here or reach your arms all the way up overhead. Continue to squeeze front heel and back knee towards each other and allow your left knee to move more to the left so your hips can move a little more forward and down. As your hips move down, lift your chest up and stretch your spine. Take one more inhale here. And then gently touch the floor if you're not already. Tuck your back toes and straighten your front leg. Move your left heel forward until your right thigh is vertical. Flex your left foot. Dig your heel down and drag it back. Then as you inhale, extend your spine. Twist a little to the left and fold over your left leg. Work your legs strong, abs strong, and go for a stretch along the back of your left thigh and in your spine. Lengthen your spine on your next inhale. Lunge into your left leg, go to down dog, step back. Next up, twisted monkey. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand and lower your left knee to the floor. Turn your right foot out 45 degrees. Take your left hand a little wider to the left and bring your right hand to your right knee. Squeeze front heel and back knee towards each other and turn your chest to the right. Stay here, stage 1, or reach back to grab a hold of your foot with your right hand, stage 2. Stage 3, bring your heel to your butt and back your butt up to your heel. Tone your belly, turn your chest to the right, and stretch your left quads. Breathe. Smooth and steady. Next inhale, release your back foot. if you have it, and then step back, down dog. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand and lower your right knee to the floor. Turn your left foot out 45 degrees, widen your right hand slightly to the right, and bring your left hand to your left knee. Make your legs strong. Stay here, stage 1, or reach back to grab a hold of your foot, stage 2. Or stage 3, bring your heel to your butt and your butt to your heel. It's a deeper thigh stretch. Turn your chest to the left and stretch your back knee, top of your head, away from each other. Smooth out your breath. On your next inhale, slowly release your back foot. Step back to down dog. Walk your feet to your hands, sit down and lie on your back. Recline to cow face. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh so there's no space between your inner thighs, and hug your knees in towards your chest. You can reach your left forearm underneath of your right shin to interlace your hands around the front of your left shin. Use your hands to pull towards you, but push your legs away so you get a little bit more resistance and more opening. Release that side, switch, take your left leg over top of your right. Hold around the front of your right shin and squeeze your legs towards you as you use the power of your legs to push away. One more breath here. Unwind your legs, bridge pose. Place your feet on the mat, hip width apart so your ankles are directly underneath of your knees. And bring your arms down by your sides. Lift your chin so it's perpendicular to the floor, and then lift your hips up. You can either hold the outer edges of the mat, if you're tighter in the shoulders or want more space, or interlace your fingers behind you and walk your shoulders one at a time more towards your spine. Shrug your shoulders towards your ears slightly. Press your head and upper arms into the ground and lift your chest more towards your chin. Then squeeze your legs towards each other to make them strong. And as you push your heels down, lift your hips up. On your next inhale, release your hands, and as you exhale, lower your hips. Take your feet a few inches wider, knock your knees in. Rest one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and close your eyes. Just breathe for a moment or two. Walk your feet back into hip width for needle's eye. Cross your right ankle over your left knee in a figure 4 and pull your knees in towards your chest. Either interlace your hands behind your left thigh or a deeper version in front of your left shin. Flex your feet and spread your toes. Like you did in reclined cow face, pull with your hands towards your chest, but push with your left leg away. And turn your right leg out in the hip socket so your right knee points wider to the right for a deeper stretch. Take a few breaths here. And then release, unwind, and switch sides. Left ankle over right knee. Hold around your right leg. Make sure that your head can relax all the way down to the floor. If that's not working out, you could slide a block underneath of your head or something to support you so you can relax your head and neck more. Pull with your hands towards you. Turn your left leg out in the hip socket and stretch your left knee out towards the left. Slowly release, unwind. Bring your feet to the floor with your knees bent. Widen your feet a couple of inches wider than your hips. And bring your arms into cactus pose. For windshield wipers, lift your hips up and shift them to the right about 4 inches and let your knees fall to the left like a little windshield wiper movement. Either stay here or take your left ankle and place it on top of your right thigh, just above your knee. And then use your foot on your thigh to drag your right thigh out of the hip socket. Breathe. Create length along your right side. Release that side, come back to center, shift your hips over to the left and let your knees fall to your right. Stay there or place your ankle on top of your knee or just above it. If you get any kind of knee pain or low back pain when you place your foot on your thigh, then just skip it and keep your right foot on the floor here. Drag your left thigh long out of the hip. Breathe. Release that side, bring your knees to center, center your hips up on the mat, and squeeze your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs. Recline child's pose. From here, make your way up to a seat. Hopefully,
That helps you to feel more balanced and more open. Thank you. Namaste.